So in a new study, it suggests that students who suffer from high blood pressure tend to have learning disabilities, which means that when they go to school, they have a hard time learning. So with that, there's a disease found in children which is considered high blood pressure, which is hypertension, also known as. And so with that, there's also a lot of negatives when children are in school, which means that they have a hard time learning with the type of education that they're dealing with. And so high blood pressure is a disease in which the force of blood is too much for the artery walls to handle. And so that would be a main reason to prevent it, because that means that children would either have it or won't have it. So moving on to why I chose this was because I wanted to conduct research on how high blood pressure affects students' learning, and the main reason why it should be prevented is because obviously we want to be healthy and promote a healthy America, so that would make the students a lot smarter and more efficient in the classrooms. And because most of us have been to doctor's appointment, I'm guessing, so when you go to a doctor's appointment, you typically get a normal checkup, which consists of checking the ears, your eyes, your mouth, whatever, and also your blood pressure. And with that, I wanted to further into depth and learn more about high blood pressure. And by learning about kids who suffer from high blood pressure, there will be a way we can control those effects on how students will better their learning. And so with that, kids should have their blood pressure taken, and they should learn those treatments towards having high blood pressure if they are diagnosed with that, and then also what the effects are when they go to school. And so with that, let me begin by stating why blood pressure getting checked is important. And so with kids being 3 years of age and older, they should get their blood pressure taken when at the doctor's, because it is mandatory for the doctor, and being a parent or the guardian, they should be very attentive to their child. And if they are diagnosed with high blood pressure, they could then further their treatments. And so if they go to the doctors and their blood pressure is elevated at 3 times of the doctor's appointment, they should seek medical attention as soon as possible and have tests ran on them, so that way they can go ahead and eliminate that disease that they have. And so with that being said, the treatment for high blood pressure is that it should be needed, because then if not, then symptoms or other diseases such as eye disease, kidney disease, and heart disease can be evident in their near future. And the only way to know about high blood pressure is going to the doctors. And according to an article on the National Institute of Diseases for Diabetes and Kidney website, it was last updated on March 1st, 2012. It is evident that the number of children with high blood pressure is rising. So that is a negative in a sense. So with that, they should be visiting the doctor regularly, and unfortunately it is called the silent disease, which shows that there are no symptoms for this disease. And in the book titled Your Guide to Lowering Blood Pressure, written by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, said that, quote, if you have high blood pressure, you and your healthcare provider need to plan something and work together to reduce it, end quote. So with that, the 3 main ways of changing this disease is by improving your diet, weight loss, and encouragement, because the children are being more, how would you say, to encourage a child to change their diet and to lose weight would be evident, so that way they could go ahead and change their lifestyle and be happy children. So with that, given these points, hypertension is something that affects the child's learning, and this would affect the child's brain because of how the child is learning with this sort of disease and how they could possibly get teased at school for some reason. So in all, there would be a negative for the children to have high blood pressure, since it would affect them socially and in their health, in their overall health. So an experiment found that high blood pressure in students caused them to score lower on tests visually and verbally. And in the September 29, 2016 Journal of Pediatrics, Dr. Mark Land, a doctor, said that in the future you want to better understand the physical changes to the brain while children who have hypertension, that could explain these cognitive test results. And they also found that children who had sleep or who are sleep deprived, they could possibly have high blood pressure as well. And just to go ahead and recap, I hope that you learned about the children whose blood pressure is taken, the treatments for high blood pressure, and the effects of their learning ability. And by that, I want to just go ahead and let all of you know that taking care of your body is obviously essential for living a healthy life, and so that would be the positive outcome of changing your lifestyle. And in order to just end it off, I would like to leave you with a quote, and that would be, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? Thank you.